I'm going to be talking to you here about the topic of what we know as Qurbani. Okay, Qurbani, or in Arabic, which is called Udhiyah. Udhiyah. Now, Udhiyah, Qurbani, whatever you want to call it, it's all about slaughtering an animal in Eid. Okay, some people call it Big Eid. In Eid, when people go for Hajj, in that Eid, there's slaughtering that goes on. Now, this slaughtering, many questions people ask. First of all, who has to give or slaughter an animal? The people who have to slaughter an animal, there's 4 conditions. Number 1, a person has to be sane, insane, can't be insane, meaning they can't be mentally insane. If a person's mentally not well, then that person will not have to slaughter an animal. Number 2 is if a person has reached the age of puberty. Okay, this is important as well, that they reach the age of puberty. Number 3 is they have to be residing, meaning they can't be travelers. Okay, they have to be resident. So if someone's a traveler, they're on abroad traveling, then that person doesn't have to give a slaughtered animal. Number 4 is they have to have money. How much money do they need? They need to have what we call the threshold, okay, of zakat. Whatever the threshold of zakat is, what we normally count, I think roughly, possibly it's about £400 nowadays. So if a person has that, when on Eid day, on the morning of Eid, okay, on the morning of Eid, if you have that much money in your possession, then you have to slaughter an animal. So these are 4 conditions that you need. So these are the 4 conditions, and this becomes necessary upon whether you're male, whether you're a female. You have to slaughter an animal. Now, how does slaughtering an animal work? The way it works is that you can slaughter several animals. You can slaughter goat, sheep, cow, camel, or any animal which is of this family. Now, a goat, okay, one goat per person. Okay, so it's 1 goat per person, or 1 sheep per person. Cows, however, you can actually do 1/7 of a cow per person. You can actually do that. Meaning, let's say there's a cow. Someone has a cow. Okay, this is my version of a cow. Let's say someone has a cow. Then a person can slaughter a whole cow if they wish on their behalf, or they can have other people sharing with them. So let's say we have 7 people. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people can actually share 1 cow, and 7 people sharing a cow means each one of them owns 1/7 of it. So if a person pays for 1/7 of a cow and 7 people share a cow, then their slaughtering will be done. Similarly is the case for a camel. So a camel can also take a maximum of 7 shares. So if a person does this, then their slaughtering will be done. Now, when do they have to slaughter? The time for slaughtering, okay, let's say there's a calendar here, and this calendar has days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's say Eid day is this day. Okay, let's say Eid is on the 20th. The next day will be the 21st, 22nd. The person is allowed to slaughter within these 3 days. Okay, within these 3 days. So you can slaughter on the 1st day of Eid, 2nd day of Eid, or the 3rd day of Eid. Any one of these days you can slaughter your animal. Now, some people ask the question, can I allow someone else to slaughter on my behalf. Okay, now if this means, let's say for example, there's this person here, and he has to slaughter an animal, it's upon him, then what he can do is he can give money. Okay, he gives some money, and that money, okay, is given to another person, okay, to slaughter an animal, whether that's in the same country or in a different country. That's totally fine. Okay, it's totally permissible. The person doesn't have to carry out the slaughtering himself. However, according to scholars, it's more preferred for the person to do it themselves. Okay, let's just see an example of this. So let's say we have, move over here, let's say we have our person called Zaid. Now Zaid has is a, number one, is sane. Number two, he's reached the age of puberty. He's 25 years old. Number three, yep, he's residing. He's not a traveler. He's a resident. And number four, and he owns, let's say, £800. He has £800 of his own possession, money. Now, so on the 20th, let's say on this day, okay, let's say on this day is the day of Eid. He is sane, he's 25, he's a resident, and he has £800. So now Zaid would have to slaughter an animal. Okay, slaughter an animal. However, Zaid can't do it himself, possibly where he's living is difficult. So what he does, he will send money. Okay, so Zaid will send money somewhere else, say somewhere else in the world. Okay, a place that does it, sends money somewhere else on the earth, send it somewhere else, and he pays the cost of one slaughtering in that particular country. So let's say he sends his money, let me change that, let's say he sends his money over here somewhere on the other side of the earth, and over there the cost of one slaughtering, it works out to be let's say £35. Okay, if it works out to be £35, then that's all he pays for a slaughter, and that's how it works. Just one more thing, some people ask this question a lot, is a person responsible for anyone else, like children? So if Zaid has had a child, will he have to give on the child's behalf as well? No, the child is under the age of puberty, so Zaid is not responsible, and Zaid wouldn't have to give for the child. Another common question people ask is, someone who has to slaughter, can they cut their nails and hair? Okay, can they cut their nails and hair? Well, it's preferred, okay, preferred for a person not to cut their nails and cut their hair if they're going to slaughter an animal. However, it's not necessary, it's not obligatory on a person to do that, but it's preferred. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Jazakallah.